Alright, so I went ahead and cleared the codes. The check engine light went away for now. Let's go ahead and plug this one back in and try to take out number one. Let's see what happens. Alright, okay. So it got a lot worse when we took out number one. Alright. We're gonna wait on the coil now. Probably gonna go to a local friend that takes BMWs apart and stuff like that, and we're gonna find a coil. I still have to replace this fender that's a little dented. And then looking at the car, we found another dent right here. Let me see if you guys, right there. So we're gonna try to hit it out with a piece of wood. Compared to what it was, looking a lot better. It's just an easy little temporary fix, and then all it will need is a little tap right here, maybe a dent guy, or maybe I'll try it. But overall, it's not very noticeable. The fender is very noticeable though, and I'm gonna go ahead and replace it in a little bit. So I took these trims off the other day to take off this plasti dip. I still need to take this one off, and then take this part off, the little vent, to take all this rubber off. But that'll be for later. It looks like they painted on the car. The hood's still like painted right here in this little crack. But that's all right, no big deal. I'm gonna go ahead and open the hood. And let's start working on the fender. So let's get to work. Oil leak that we noticed earlier. All right, looks like there's a bunch of oil right here. Let me show you guys. Right there, I don't know if you guys can tell. Don't know where it's leaking from, so I'm gonna have to take all these little hoses off, but then I have to take off the coolant, which I'm not gonna do, hopefully. I'm gonna try to wiggle my way through with a flashlight maybe and check in there. Hopefully it's not this part, the head gasket cover. So let's see if we can find the problem. Alright guys, took the engine bay apart a little bit. I see the oil filter and I see the turbo, and I think I found the oil leak. It's not in the cover, but it is coming from under the turbo. So we took everything apart, where all the hoses are and the coolant reservoir is, trying to locate the oil leak, because it looked like it was a little puddle of oil in the bottom. It was like splashing right here. If you guys want to go see that, go watch the other video, the previous one. And now we're going to take off the turbo, make sure everything's all sitting in place. so it got pretty late on us last night, but we were working on the car a little bit after the sunset, and we kind of located the problem. And let me show you guys real quick. Alright, so I went ahead and took this shield off, as you guys seen. The oxygen sensor I took off, all these little tubes I took off, and it turns out that all the oil that was splashing right here, it was all coming from this little thing. It was shaking and it wasn't all fully tightened all the way. So we're pretty sure that it's this thing, that I guess the mechanic or whoever was working on the car, they just forgot to tighten it, and some of these other bolts were a little loose. So we went ahead and tightened this, and then installed all this back on. And one more thing that I did get is some new coils. And here's what they look like side by side. So let me install this one right now. Normally you would replace all of them, all 4, but for now, you know, just for a test drive and to pass mod, I'll put this one on. Now I have to figure all the wiring out, stick everything back on, and try to get this thing started. So let's get to work. Alright, so we got a pretty late start again last night, since I do come home around 5 o'clock. Today's part is going to be about installing all the little trims back on, finally starting the Mini Cooper. I haven't started it. I put everything back on. Let me show you guys. And I put everything back on, cleaned everything as best of my ability. Yeah. Put new seals under the air intake. Tightened all the bolts right here. I don't think there's gonna be any more oil leaking, but we'll see. You know, we have to run it first, drive it maybe for a few miles, and then we'll see. So first off, the plan is to add some coolant and get this thing started, and we'll see how it works and how it runs. Alright, now I'm inside the Mini Cooper. This thing's looking pretty filthy. Still have to clean it pretty well, but that's in a later video. So let's go ahead and give it a start. And there you guys have it. Sounds pretty dang good. Replaced just that one coil, filled up the coolant a little bit. The next thing right now I'm gonna do is install these little chrome things right here, and then this one right here, and then hopefully take it out on the road and give this thing a little test drive. I don't know if you guys seen the dent that was right here. I just thought I would try real quick. and remove the dent, or try to make it look better with this puller clip. And then I basically pulled the top part of the dent out. You can't even tell that there was anything here. And then I'm gonna try the bottom part, and then I'm gonna slowly tap this little high spot in and try to get rid of it as much as possible without repainting the hood. It is looking a lot better than it was, so I'm gonna leave it, and I'm gonna try to take this thing out, fill it up with coolant a little bit more, and take this thing for a spin, and hopefully maybe give it a wash. Also, you want to double check all the lug nuts. Make sure all the wheels are tight before, you know, fully test driving it when buying a used car. Good to go. Alright guys, so I just went ahead and washed the car. Man, it's looking super clean. Man, I love it. It's finally a white car. I've always wanted one. It's gonna be a cool little daily. I started the car and I don't know what the temperature was for the coolant, since I just poured some in. See if it's not overheating or anything like that. And there's no gauges besides the speedometer and the rev gauge. So I went ahead and did some research, and I found that you could find it in this little screen right here. You just have to go through this little menu button right here. Here, I'll show you. So you hold it. So let me just shut off the car and I'll show you guys. Alright, so say you get in the car and you want to see what the temperature of the car is, so it's not overheating or anything like that. Go ahead and start the car. Starts right up. Super nice. Alright, so it looks like it needs service, so I'll be looking at that later. So all you do is click this button and hold it. It's gonna go through all the services and all that. Just keep holding it. Alright, so you get to this menu where it has the little 01, and then it dials the numbers. So you hold it again, that it gets to 01 and then nothing after. Hold it and then start clicking once it's just on the first numbers, and then you go down here to number 19, and then this thing pops up, and yours, if you haven't unlocked it, it's gonna say lock on. So to unlock it, all you do is you add the last 5 of your VIN number together, and the number that comes out when you add all those 5 digits in the back at the end of your VIN number, that's the number you put in here. So you keep clicking this button, and it's gonna put in that number. So mine was 24, so when I said 24, I clicked it again, and the next time I came to number 19, it said it was unlocked. So that's what you want to unlock it. So then you hold it again and then keep going down through all these numbers and then go to number 7. And this is where it tells you what the temperature of the engine is and the coolant temperature. So this is exactly what you want to see if you swap your water pump, or change the fluids and you want to see if the car is overheating or not. You go here to this little menu. Alright, that'll be it for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. The Mini Cooper is coming along pretty good. The next episode is going to be a good one. We got a lot planned. So we're going to basically finish the car up. We got new wheels for it, and I got a roof rack for it actually. And we're going to clean the inside, change the oil. I got some spark plugs, and get this thing back on the road and running perfect. And looking perfect too. I don't know if you guys seen the roof rack on it, but I'll show you guys more about it, how I installed the roof rack in the next episode. So if you guys want to see that, or if you guys want to see how much everything cost me with registration and tax and all the parts that I bought. I didn't buy a lot, but it was a little budget build, so it cost me a little bit, but it was pretty cheap. So stay tuned. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.